Hello. Okay, so last weekend I went to the Netherlands slash Amsterdam, but which is in the Netherlands, so I don't know why I said that. But so I really want to go to Amsterdam, right? Because it's really cool. And Tereza, my cousin from Slovakia, lives about an hour outside of Amsterdam, hour and a half, in Tilburg. And so it was perfect. So I went with Lucy, my BFF from home, and we flew in on Thursday to Amsterdam. So we spent the day on Thursday in Amsterdam, spent the night in Amsterdam in a hostel, which was gross. I hate hostels. And then Friday morning we met with Tereza, and we had another day in Amsterdam. But on the flight on the way there, we took a sketchy flight, of course, because it's expensive to go to Amsterdam. It's like a lot of people wanted to go and they couldn't because it was like 400 euro or something. I got mine for like less than 200 euro, but that was like a really good price. So the turbulence right from the very beginning, before we even took off, like the plane was like shaking just like to accelerate, and I was like, oh God. So I said a quick prayer, went to bed, conked the whole flight. So we wake up and Lucy's all mad at me. I'm like, Lucy, what's wrong? She goes, I've never been more mad at you in my whole life. I'm like, why? So the turbulence was so bad that everyone on the plane was like praying together, holding hands. The ladies behind us were like praying the rosary, and I was asleep like this the whole time. I had absolutely no idea it was bad. And she's like, I hate you so much. Like, it was so horrible. I was so scared, and you were asleep the whole time. It was so funny. Yeah. So I'm very thankful with my ability to sleep everywhere. Yeah. So that was great because I had absolutely no problems. So we got in and we took the train to Amsterdam Central, and we walked around the city, and we went to this like little Dutch market, and it was really fun. And then we went to the Heineken experience. We got to see how they make Heineken, taste a lot of Heineken, and it was really fun. Yeah, it was really cool. And then Lucy ended up buying something, and they came with a free gift, which was a liter and a half of Heineken. So it was like this like huge bottle. It was so funny. And then we had to like go back and drop it off at the hospital because it was so heavy. Because it was a liter and a half of beer in a glass bottle. So it was really funny. And then Lucy's sister had actually ended up. She lives in Dublin, so she was also in Amsterdam that night at the same hostel as us. So we had dinner together, the three of us, and it was really nice. So I haven't seen her sister in like a year. So that was really nice. So we just like walked around. And we went to bed because we knew it was going to be like a long next 3 days. So then we woke up and we bought some chutchies real quick, bought my mug and my whatever, keychains, postcards, whatever. And then we met up with Tereza. Well, first I got Starbucks because besides taxis, I hate the taxis in Italy. They don't have Starbucks. And like I'm not complaining about the coffee or anything, but like I can only drink so much espresso, and espresso doesn't even have that much caffeine in it. So like it gets like a little painful to walk around just only on 2 shots of espresso because it's not enough for me. So I got my Starbucks. So I was ready for the day. It was so great. And then we met with Tereza, and I had never met her before, and it was so nice. And then we took these like water taxi things like across like the canal, and we went up to like this like the lookout or whatever, and they had these like big I don't know, like electric swing thingies. So we got to like go on these swings and like look out over like the whole city of Amsterdam. And then we like sat up there and just like chatted for like an hour. And it was really nice because it was a really nice view of like the whole city, of all the canals and everything. And then we went down, went back over to the water taxi, and I went to the Anne Frank house. It was so hard to get tickets. It's like sold out for like months in advance. Like I tried to get them like 3 weeks ago, and it was like already sold out. So they sell like 80% of their tickets beforehand, and then 20% of their tickets the day of at 9 a.m. So at like 8 o'clock, we like woke up that day, and we're like on the internet just like trying to refresh and trying to get our tickets. It was like actually really hard, but I really wanted to go to Anne Frank house because it's like the Anne Frank house, it's like one of the most important things to do in Amsterdam. And so we did that, and we got our tickets, and it was really nice. The Anne Frank house was really cool. You know, it was like really nice. You like get to see the offices of the people who were hiding them. You get to see like the tight quarters of like how they were actually hiding and for how long. Um, and then they had like videos because like her dad was the only one who like survived the Holocaust. Like most of the people that they were hiding, like they got caught when they invaded Amsterdam, and so he was like one of the only ones. There was like 8 people living in that, like hiding in that house, and he was the only one who made it, and it was really sad. Like sad, like that's so many people, and they were like all living, like you're like walking around where they lived, and like there are pictures of them, and like how they had like decorated the house to like make it more comfortable for them to like be hiding in there. But yeah, it was really sad, but it was really cool. You know, like it was important. You have to go see that kind of stuff. But then after that, we went on a little canal boat tour. We did a hop on hop off boat tour through all the canals, and it was really nice. Uh, and then we got on the train. But so we went on the train, and then our trains got like all messed up and delayed because to go back to Tilburg because there was a collision with the person with the train, and I was like, oh my god. And apparently that like happens a lot in the Netherlands, like decently frequent, that like people aren't like just like disturbed by it as much. Like I was like really taken aback, like wow, like someone jumped in front of a train. But Teresa was like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. It's kind of annoying. And I was like, okay, so I'm guessing mental health might not be that great in the Netherlands. But I don't know. Yeah, so then we finally got our trains back, and since all the mishap, we were so hungry, and we were gonna get food at the train station, but then we only had like 2 minutes to get on our train so that get it all changed. So that by the time we got back to Tilburg, we were so hungry, and she had a Domino's right by her house. And so me and Lucy were so excited to get Domino's, like regular American style pizza. It was amazing. And then, so then we ate our pizzas, and then we just like hung out for a little while. And then we went out to the Netherlands bar scene in the college town with Tereza and her roommate and her roommate's friend from Germany. So it was really cool. But my good God, I can't hang with this European style of going out. They don't even leave till midnight. I was like ready for bed at like 10:30. No, it's not like that. I was exhausted. We didn't come home till like 4:30. I was like falling asleep at the bar. I was like, oh my goodness. But and then we woke up the next day late, obviously, and we took a train to this like little tiny town, like 20 minutes away from her place, and it was called Den Bosch, and she had only been there like one time or something, so she'd never really been there. It was absolutely beautiful. Like it was only a 20-minute train ride from the train station by her house, and it was so nice. Like the church there it was so great. You know, it was super small and quiet, and there was no tourists. Like it was all Dutch people, and everyone was speaking Dutch. Like in Amsterdam, everyone was speaking English, but in here, everyone was speaking Dutch, and it was so cool. And it was like really pretty, and just like walking around like the streets and like getting like a feel for like the Dutch culture, because it was like a Saturday afternoon, and it was really nice out, and people were just walking around and shopping and eating and drinking, and it was really nice. And of course, oh, I wrote it down. Let me open it. She made me eat all the traditional Dutch foods. Well, obviously in Amsterdam we had like the pancakes and the French fries because that's what they eat there. But we had our stroop waffles, which were like hardened waffles with like caramel and honey in the middle. They were so good. Of course, she sent me home with a bunch because Dasha would be mad at her if she didn't send me home with food. And then we had these bitter ballen, and I'm not really sure what it was, but it was really good. And they were like these little balls, like fried or something, like crusted and fried. And it was like potatoes and meat on the inside. I'm really not sure what it was, but it was so good. The texture was nothing. It was not what I was expecting at all, but it tasted amazing. So I don't really care. I don't really want to know what it was. It was really good. And then we had these Bosch balls. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. But they were like these like they're like these very like popular like Dutch cakes, but are like they were like founded in Den Bosch, so we ate them, and they were like kind of like a cream puff covered in chocolate, like a little cake like filled with cream covered in chocolate, but the cream wasn't like disgustingly sweet, like it wasn't too sweet, so it was like really good. And we were gonna buy these socks. We were all gonna get matching socks, but then the little Bosch balls looked like actual poop on it, so we couldn't buy them. We like saw them and we were like, oh, we're gonna go get matching socks. And we went back to the store and it looked like poop. And we were like, never mind. Yeah, and then we went back to Tilburg and we ate dinner at this really cool place, and it was like a special restaurant that was like trying to help out on young entrepreneurs. And it was like there was like 4 restaurants and inside this place, and they were like up and coming, so like people would come here, and these people are trying to like make enough money and get like their name around so that they could like eventually go out and like make their own restaurant, um, which is like a really cool concept, you know, like it's like there was like a vegan place and like a place like a Peru thing, I don't really know, and it was like a cool concept because it's hard to get your name out there, I guess. I'm not like it is, I guess, everywhere. Everyone has problems with that, so I thought that was a really cool idea, so it was really cool to go there. And then we walked over by the canal through the city center of like the town that she lives in, and it was cool. We went to a brewery, of course, had lots of beer because that's what the Dutch people do. That's what we do in Europe, just drink beer, which is nice because, you know, needed a break from wine, you know. But that was really nice. And then the next morning we woke up really early on Sunday. Yeah, so then Sunday we woke up really early, took a train out to Utrecht, something like that. Another like small city. We got there and there was nobody was there, not one person. I swear, there was like maybe 5 people, including the 3 of us, like walking around. We stopped into this really nice brunch place, got like a really nice brunch, and then by the time we left brunch, there was people literally everywhere. Like the city was completely crowded. We were in there for like an hour. It was insane. So it was like just another like, it was a bigger city, but it was like big, like bigger, but not as big as Amsterdam, and not touristy like Amsterdam. Like Amsterdam is super touristy, like obviously it's Amsterdam, but like Utrecht was like big like Amsterdam, but like not touristy. So it was really nice. And then we just like walked around, like saw this stuff, like went into these like all the like random churches we could like walk into, and then we had popsicles, and then we caught our train to go home. And then, of course, our flight was delayed, but that's besides the point. So that was my weekend in the Netherlands, and it was really nice, you know. It's like probably one of my favorite countries that I visited, just because it was like quiet, and all the people like just ride their bikes everywhere. There's bikes like everywhere you look. There's someone riding a bike. Like the amount of times I almost died by bike. Like we didn't even ride bikes, but like people were yelling at me because they were like coming in on the bike, and I got so scared. So then I was like freaking out for the rest of the weekend that I was gonna get run over by a bike or just get yelled at by a biker. And then yeah, so but like it was really nice because people like they take the train and they bike everywhere. So like people are pretty healthy. They're biking everywhere, and like they have all these like really big like bike things. But then of course, you know, there's like bikes getting stolen. Like Tereza said she's gotten like 3 bikes stolen. I'm like, oh god. But that's really cool. So I'll probably go back. Madeline, we're going back. We'll ride bikes. So that'll be really fun. But yeah, it's one of my favorite weekends. It was really nice because like this coming weekend is my last weekend of like traveling out of Rome. And so it was definitely a good second to last travel weekend, but one of my overall favorite places. One of my favorite trips, I think, of the whole semester so far. All right. Bye-bye.